A crossover in Identity V is basically when the game teams up with another franchise to bring us shiny new things, whether it's costumes, stickers, or whatever else they think will make us throw our wallets at the screen. Personally, I'd call it a cash grab because these crossovers tend to come with a price tag bigger than your best win rate. You either cough up in-game currency, or, if you're feeling lucky, or unlucky, you gamble with the gacha system just for, a chance to score that one outfit you've been dreaming about. Now, how many crossovers has IDV blessed us with since 2018? 10? 20? Well, I've counted as many as 43. At least, that's the number I counted while nursing my emotional wounds from a random's basement rescue attempt, while the gate was already open. Yeah, that happened. So today, let's dive into all these crossovers from the beginning until now. I got my data from the IDV fandom, but as I mentioned, I was in mental recovery mode while writing this, so if anything's off, feel free to point it out in the comments. Also, please note that I'll explain everything briefly since there are so many crossovers to discuss from 2018 to 2024. If you need more information about any specific crossover I mentioned here, feel free to do your own research. And since there are many people sharing their idea for any future crossover, I dive into them as well, but I'll talk about them in another video, since it'll be too long to put them here all together. This is your slightly traumatized broadcaster, Silmina, signing in. There's a lot of debate about what IDV's first crossover really was. Some folks swear it's the Junji Ito crossover, while others will die on the hill that it was the creepy doll from Dead Silence, which graced Leo Beck with a skin. Honestly, for me, the real first crossover IDV ever pulled off was the Animal World crossover. You probably haven't heard of it because it was a China-exclusive event, but it dropped on July 2nd, 2018, and ran until July 30th. The highlight? A limited B-tier skin for Smiley Face called Childhood Brand, which looked both cute and terrifying. Now, the second crossover was the Junji Ito crossover. This one happened in December 2018, stretching into early January 2019, exactly back when the game still thought it was more about horror than fancy costumes. Players had the chance to snag the Suichi costume for Lucky Guy, which is an irony, because what's lucky when you have a cursed kid with nails in his mouth? Aside from that, there's also the Intersection Bishonen skin for Wu Chang. Oh, and let's not forget the accessory for Lucky Guy, a creepy little voodoo doll. Well, what better way to accessorize the Lucky Guy than with a doll that's actively planning your demise? 2019 was a wild year for Identity V crossovers. It kicked off with the Crazy Alien crossover based on a Chinese movie that most of us probably haven't heard of, unless you live in China, of course. This event ran from January to February 2019, and only Chinese server players got to enjoy it. Well, typical netties. They like to keep the good stuff locked up. Anyway, during the event, you could snag costumes for Lawyer called Crazy Da Fei, and for Lucky Guy, called Crazy Jang Hao. Along with them, there are also a pet and some stickers. Next up was another Chinese exclusive event, the Nike React crossover. Yeah, you heard that right. Nike! This event hit in March 2019, and the skins probably made everyone else drool with envy. You could choose between a B-tier Nike React skin for forward or coordinator, so at least you'd look fresh while running for your life. Then came the Junji Ito Part 2 and Part 3 crossovers in May and July 2019. This time, the event brought several creepy new costumes, the most infamous being Painted Girls for Dream Witch. How so? Well, the skin was considered too scary for the Chinese server, so they just straight up banned it there. And, of course, more accessories and pets for players to obsess over. Moving right along, we get to the Persona 5 crossover in August 2019, which, when I think about it, is probably when NetEase realized they could print money by teaming up with popular franchises instead of sticking to the horror stuff. This crossover gave players a chance to nab 4 upgradable skins, starting with an S tier for Acrobat, Ren Amamiya, with the Joker Awakening. Then, there were A tier skins for Embalmer, Dancer, and Forward. All upgradable, of course, because why not? Oh, and fun fact, many players believed that both the Persona 5 and Junji Ito crossovers were supposed to be limited. In 2024, however, NetEase decided to bring them back. The decision sparked the rage of older players who thought their skins were exclusive forever. It was basically IDV's version of the Great Depression, with the in-game trading community crashing like it was 1929 all over again. Next up, in October 2019, we had the Meituan Takeout crossover. Basically, it was like a McDonald's crossover, except with less burgers and more fancy skins. There are 2 skins for Forward and Prospector, plus stickers and an accessory. Then, in November 2019, we got Persona 5 Part 2. This time, they switched up how you could get the skins, though it still gave players plenty to complain about. We got 4 more skins. Goro Akechi for First Officer, Haru Okamura for Gardener, Futaba Sakura for Mechanic, and Makoto Nijima for Coordinator. Naturally, these skins could also be upgraded, assuming you're ready to raid the bank with your buddy and sent to the jail afterwards. And to wrap up 2019 with a bow, we got the Edward Scissorhands crossover. You could slice your way into the game with A-tier skins like Kim for Dancer, and 2 A-tier costumes for Jack the Ripper, Edward Scissorhands, and the Uninvited Guest. Along with the usual portrait frames, graffiti, accessories, and furniture, the event introduced a new map, Edward's Wish. Fun fact, it's basically a redesigned Sacred Heart Hospital, but with a touch of Tim Burton flair. Let's kick off with the first big crossover of 2020, Danganronpa, which dropped in May. This event gave us the chance to grab some cool skins, Monokuma for Bon Bon, Makoto Naegi for Lucky Guy, Kyoko Kirigiri for Coordinator, and Junko Enoshima for Barmaid. Bon Bon also got a B-tier accessory called the Mono Mono Machine, which could be upgraded to A, S, or even SS tier. Then, in July, we got the first part of the Case Closed crossover. Players could score skins like Hajime Hattori for Forward, Shiho Miyano for Perfumer, Kogoro Mori for Lawyer, and Ran Mori for Coordinator. There was also a package, which is available for Echoes of course, that gave you lobby characters Shinichi Kudo and Conan Edogawa. Global players had to wait until October 2021 for this one though. Part 2 of the Case Closed crossover came right after, in August. This time, we got more skins, like Kaido the Kid for Seer, Shuichi Akai for Mercenary, Toru Amano for Embalmer, and Vermouth for Barmaid. There were also new accessories, stickers, and emotes. Global players had to wait until December 2021 for this round. Then in October, we had a China-exclusive KFC crossover. Perfumer stole the spotlight with not 1 but 2 skins, Miss K and Lady K. Ripper also got a skin, and there was some KFC-themed furniture. Fans started wondering if the devs were giving Perfumer a little too much love. Finally, closing out 2020 was Part 2 of the Danganronpa crossover. This time, we got 4 new skins. Hajime Hinata for Prospector, Sumiki Mikan for Doctor, Chiaki Nanami for Mechanic, and Nagito Komaeda for Mercenary. And of course, there were more goodies like portraits, pets, and stickers. 2021 kicked off with the Promised Neverland crossover in February. This event gave us the chance to score one of 2 free skins, either Forwards Dawn or Blind Girls Gilda. Not bad for freebies, right? The essences, though, were where the real treasures lay. Mary got the S-tier treatment with an Isabella skin, Gardner became Emma, Embalmer stepped in as Norman, and Prisoner became Ray. It was basically like the game went full anime. Next up, we got hit with the Death Note crossover, which had the community buzzing for one reason. For the first time ever, Lawyer didn't look like, well, Lawyer. This time, he was Kira Yagami, handsome and menacing. Prisoner was rocking L's iconic look. Mechanic got Misa Amane's goth vibes, and Evil Reptilian became Ryuk. And speaking of Evil Reptilian, I'm still holding out hope for an Evil Reptilian x T-Rex crossover. Make it happen, Netties! Then, in September, we saw the return of The Promised Neverland with Part 2. Entomologist got the S-tier Mujika skin, but this time, the hunters got some love too. Percy finally got his first and only real skin. Sassy! Sad news for Percy because he wouldn't get any more shiny skins after that. Then, the Ripper donned Sanju's look, and Joseph, well, he got Peter Raytree. Let's just say the fans weren't exactly thrilled, as Peter Raytree made Joseph look less than cool. Fast forward to December, and we had not one, but TWU crossovers. First up was the B-Duck crossover, which is a China exclusive until 2022, followed by the Line Friends crossover. Mercenary hogged the spotlight with new costumes in both crossovers, dressing up as Brown in the Line Friends event and going full B-Duck style in the B-Duck crossover. Bon Bon, not to be outdone, got a stuffed duck outfit, and Entomologist rocked an adorable white bunny hoodie in the Line Friends crossover. The catch? Both were classic cash grabs. Those skins were only available through Echoes. The first real crossover of 2022 came in July with Link Click, based on the supernatural mystery Donghua that had everyone talking. The highlight? Wu Chang's A-tier skin, inspired by the main characters of the series. And guess what? It's yet another Echoes-only cash grab! NetEase knows how to keep those wallets light. Now, let's talk about the roller coaster that was September 2022, the Bungo Stray Dogs crossover. Fans had been hyped for this one, especially since many Identity V players loved the series. But the hype train hit a serious derailment when NetEase had to remove 2 skins due to Chinese regulations. Akiko Yosano for Doctor and Doppo Kunikida for Novelist were cancelled because, fun fact, those characters are based on real historical figures who supported the Japanese war effort during World War II. Despite the drama, we still got some cool skins. Players could grab the S-tier Mercenary skin, Atsushi Nakajima, the S-tier Prisoner skin, Osamu Dazai, and as a bit of sorry about the mess compensation, the A-tier Painter skin, Rampo Adogawa, was free. Not bad, right? Finally, to wrap up 2022, we got the Project Zero 2 crossover in December. If you're a fan of classic horror games, you'll know this one hit hard back in the day. I'm still recovering from the PTSD myself. This event gave us the A-tier Perfumer skin, Mio Makura, and the A-tier Geisha skin, Sei Kurosawa. Of course, these were only available via Echoes. The twist? This crossover only launched on global servers because apparently, it was deemed too scary for China. We kicked off the year with the Mitsuji Kamada crossover in January, which was all about steampunk vibes. This was a collab with the artist Mitsuji Kamata, who designed some pretty slick costumes for the Toy Merchant and Bloody Queen. Naturally, they were Echoes only, because who needs savings in this game? Oh, and if you're into furniture shopping, there were some steampunk items to spruce up your lobby. February brought the return of Bungo Stray Dogs for Part 2, this time with less drama. We got skins from the Port Mafia, like the S-tier Ryunosuke Akutagawa for Seer, S-tier Chuya Nakahara for Prospector, and A-tier skins for Coordinator, Acrobat, and Magician. No free skins this time though, since nothing went wrong. Kinda makes you wish for a little drama, huh? In April, we got the second KFC crossover, but this time, it was all about Naiad. She rocked both a KFC employee costume and a chef outfit. Lucky for me, this crossover stayed in China, so I didn't have to relive the nightmare of getting destroyed by her in style. April wasn't done with us yet. The second part of the Mitsuji Kamata series dropped, and once again, Mercenary stole the spotlight with his A-tier Cannoneer skin. Soul Weaver got some love too with her A-tier Renewer skin. And yep, more furniture to drain your funds. May was when the Angel of Death crossover swooped in, and fans lost it. The S-tier Isaac Foster skin for Ripper was the star of the show, and yes, more Echoes required, but we also got A-tier skins for Little Girl, Axe Boy, Professor, and Coordinator. And hey, Lawyer got a free A-tier Abraham Gray skin if you joined the event. In June, Mitsuji Kamata returned for Part 3, and guess who got another skin? Perfumer! She scored her A-tier Distiller skin, adding to her ever-growing closet of 30-plus skins. Honestly, who's still simping for her at this point? Oh right, everyone! Prospector and Sculptor also got new A-tier skins, but really, it's all about Perfumer, right? Also in June, China had an exclusive aerospace crossover where Lucky Guy dressed up as an astronaut, and maybe for once, we got a cool skin for free. August saw the much-anticipated Danganronpa Part 3 crossover. After 3 long years, this time, we got Kaede Akamatsu as the S-tier skin for Journalist, and A-tier skins for Novelist, Acrobat, Toy Merchant, and Prisoner. Prisoner's Rantaro Amami skin was free, as long as you joined the event, which was a nice touch. Fast forward to November, and XXX Holic dropped with supernatural vibes. Geisha stole the show with her S-tier Yuko Ichihara skin, while Seer, Mercenary, and Little Girl got A-tier skins. Finally, we wrapped up 2023 with a Sanrio crossover, featuring none other than Hello Kitty. Yep, you heard that right. Identity V went full kawaii with Hello Kitty for Gardner and Dreamy Cinnamon Roll for Joseph. And just when you thought the horror vibes couldn't get more confusing, here comes the adorable Sanrio gang. At least we got a free pet out of it, so who's complaining? 2024 started with quite the firestorm. The Fei Ren Zai crossover, exclusive to Chinese players, sent global fans into a meltdown. I mean, who doesn't want to see the Journalist, Mechanic, and Professor rocking mythical creature skins ripped straight from the Fei Ren Zai cartoon series? Add some accessories to the mix, and you've got a full-on riot because nothing says fun like global players being left out. Drama? Well, you can say that. Then in March, we saw the return of the Lawson crossover, which featured Ann Lester and Victor Grants rocking Lawson uniforms. Fun fact, this crossover first happened in 2022 with Acrobat skins, but I somehow missed that, my bad. First applied to the Chinese server, the global players had to wait until June to get in on the action. April was a busy month, starting with the original Arnold and Puppet series. Apparently, Identity 5 thought it was time to go meta with their own cartoon series. The skins in this crossover included the S-tier stage host for Gardner and A-tier mischievous Joker for Smiley Face. Some furnitures were thrown in as well, because hey, why not? Also in April, we got a little something special with the Little Nightmares crossover. The A-tier 6 costume for Little Girl was there to empty your echoes, but Mono for Axe Boy? Free! Yes, you heard that right! A free skin! Shockingly rare, but appreciated nonetheless. June brought another free skin with the Eggy Party crossover. Lucky Guys somehow ended up with the Yegg's best friend costume, donning a bright yellow outfit. Who knew Netties could be so generous? I mean, free skins and back-to-back crossovers? Someone check on them. I think they might be ill. The second part of the B, Duck crossover waddled its way into Identity V on June 6, 2024, bringing us the Buffy costume for Perfumer, Rice for Prisoner, and the adorably bite-sized pet, Tiny Jack, all available in the Illusion Hall. Of course, Perfumer got yet another skin, because clearly, her wardrobe wasn't bursting at the seams already. At this point, she's probably giving skins away as party favors. Meanwhile, Percy mains are sitting there, glaring at their empty closets. Part 2 of the Sanrio crossover adorably strolled into Identity V on June 27th and stuck around for a whole month. Players could snag the Mary Kuromi costume for Bloody Queen and Stunning My Melody for Cheerleader in the Illusion Hall. Then, in July, Identity 5 decided to get all fancy with a collaboration with the China Academy of Art. The result? The Antiquarian's A-tier Symphony of Ink skin, complete with a matching A-tier accessory. And get this! You could use fragments or echoes to snatch it up. Finally, a win for the free-to-play crowd. So, that wraps up 2024's crossovers so far. If I missed anything, well, blame it on my shattered mental state after some random ruined my match. But hey, that's what the comments section is for, right? This is your broadcaster Solmina, signing off. And next time, let's hear your wild crossover ideas.